Alrighty, we're good. People can hear us. Welcome everybody to our officially second stream. We are running late. That's just us, true fashion. But we are live. We are here. Today we're going to be talking about, of course, a conspiracy theory, because what else do we talk about all the time? No, it's not aliens, but I would love to get to that eventually. I know Crystal's getting annoyed at me for mentioning it. That's like the one that I want to do.
Audio. Make sure that's good first.
Yes, let us know. How does it sound? Do we sound okay? We are not together. So it's been interesting trying to figure all this out. So let us know how we sound. Do we sound wonderful? Do we sound awful?
Maybe put my close to the computer. That way I don't have an echo of you.
Okay.
I don't want you to echo into the computer.
Crystal is quiet. I told her that earlier, but I think you sound louder now.
Okay. Am I still really quiet?
You are really loud now, so you can
Okay.
do your normal. You can do you.
Okay,
We're good.
okay.
You
I
sound
was gonna
good.
say, am I quiet because of Discord?
No, you're good now. We're getting good.
Okay.
We're getting good feedback now. It's perfect. We're good. We're all set.
Perfect.
Alrighty, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I didn't. I was so busy researching all the other episodes for us to get uploaded on Sundays that I did not do very much research at all for this one. So this is basically going to be like Crystal's storytelling to me, and it's a good one. I kind of wanted it to be that way because the excitement of her telling me about this brought joy to me. So, yeah.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, you do look frozen.
Oh, I'm frozen.
Oh, there you go. You're good. You're good now. We're having technical difficulties,
Oh, there we
people,
go.
but we're fixed. We're good. It's not
Okay.
a Bayou Chronicles stream or episode if we don't have a few bumps in the road.
Gotta have hiccups.
All right.
Okay. Well, I guess we can just dive right in.
Dive on in. Maybe let's give them like a little maybe description of what we're gonna be talking about.
Oh, I do want to know, let everyone know that our merch, our t-shirts, should be ready tomorrow. She's gonna send some pictures today. I'm trying to read her message. I'm sorry. She's gonna send us some pictures as soon as she finishes the last couple ones that she said they'll be ready to pick up tomorrow. So
I'm so excited. I'm excited. I already told Crystal when I stream on my channel, when we stream on here, I'm wearing that thing.
So Bethany, if you want to go pick them up tomorrow, you can.
I could probably do that.
Um, what were we talking about though? What were we gonna do? What were we diving
Just let them know. I put it in the description, kind of what we're gonna talk about, but maybe like a little, um, description of what the conspiracy is.
So the conspiracy, sorry, poked myself. The conspiracy basically is that there's a disproportionate amount of people who have gone missing in the national park system, and that it could be linked to several different things at first. And the reason we have cave system in the description, sorry, is because that's kind of originally what I thought, just what I thought it was about was the cave systems around national parks. But it has grown into one that includes um, Bigfoot. It goes to include a elite society or elite race of people that live in the mountains, like inside of the mountains, which I actually kind of want to do a whole separate episode on them, and um, aliens. So I don't touch a whole lot on each of them, just kind of give you like I'm just going to jump it over them, but that pretty much is what this is going to be about.
Mm-hmm. And if you're looking at our main screen right now, that map in the middle of it, that came from Crystal, and I plugged it in there, and that's kind of what she's talking about. Those are all like parts that line up with the cave system.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. Well, we want to go ahead and just kind of dive in.
Yeah, go ahead. Unless anybody
Okay.
unless anybody in the chat has any questions already. If not, we can just dive on in.
Okay. So the graphic that we're actually looking at down below was made by a guy named David Paulides. He's actually a former detective and an author. And this map signifies each missing person's case that he selected. It is not every missing person, it is just a collection of cases that he chose. And at first glance, these you can kind of see if you're kind of familiar with geography that a lot of these missing person cases line up with the mountain ranges
Mm-hmm.
or parts of the desert or sinkholes, kind of natural parts of the country. And that is for a good reason. It happened to be that these cases that he focuses on are cases where people have just completely and mysteriously disappeared. There's like they were there and then they're not. And there's either very little evidence or absolutely none at all. So he actually has a book series over all of this. If you want to check it out, it is next to impossible to get copies of some of these because they are self-published, and most of the copies that you want to get that he's not published anymore are like $80, $90. It's ridiculous. But the book series is called Missing 411, and there's a website for all of this that you can check out as well too. And the book series has missing persons cases that he selected from different parts of the country. It goes for people who were hunters who went missing, to people who are to just children. So he covers it all. So each color on the map actually signifies something different. It signifies a male, female, farmer, and sheep herder. And that's kind of how he signifies, and that's how he separates his cases. Um, According to Paulides, he was tracking the cases that had the most mysterious circumstances, and that's kind of what led him into discovering all this, is because he was, trying to, investigate, kind of unique cases. And that's when he kind of stumbled upon this. And he claims that he was talking to some federal park service employees, and they're the ones who said, I know you're looking into this one case, but there's actually a whole string of cases and nobody's really doing anything about it. And we can't do anything about it. So here's all the information we have. And that's what became the Missing 411, which also is a movie. There's actually, I think, a couple,
Mm-hmm.
but there is one on Netflix, which is not Netflix, YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
It's free to watch. It's actually
Mm-hmm.
really interesting. Suggest there's actually a case on there that I had already wanted to do, um, that I did not know was kind of mixed up with this missing 411 stuff. So it was kind of interesting.
Which
Uh,
I was gonna get the book because Crystal was telling me about it, and I was like, oh, how much is it? Because she's always buying books for all the episodes we do, and I'm
not
normally the one
wait,
that not I'm normally the one that just watches documentaries, and she's like, oh, well, it's about $80 to $100. I was like, yeah,
not this one.
I'll pass. I'll watch the movie. I'll watch the
Like,
movie.
I'm like $5 max is what I'll spend on a book for a podcast.
Oh yeah.
Most of the time, they're just like free library rentals.
Yep.
I have the Kindle Unlimited, so I'll just do that.
I was like, yeah, $80. That's a little steep for me.
I, I don't know why they're so expensive. So I do going to say a little bit about Politis. Like I said, he was a detective and he is an author now. It's important that we kind of talk about him because I think it ultimately helps you determine if you believe this or not. And I don't believe everything that he has to say, but I do think he's on the right track for a lot of this. So he actually has a YouTube channel, and I guess it's kind of split into a couple different parts. There's the search for missing people part. There is the Bigfoot part because he is into Bigfoot. And then there's like a survival part. So sometimes he mashes all three into one video. It's very strange, but just roll with the punches with him. Uh, but I think it's important, but also not important. So I should note that he is a COVID denier. So he's very political in his videos as well, too. Um, Probably more political than I would have thought he would be for just somebody that's trying to help certain messy people, but I
Mm-hmm.
digress. Um, he does have pages like on Facebook and stuff that you can read information about or tips like that, but they don't actually monitor it anymore. The only social media that he has right now is Parler, because he felt like he was being censored everywhere else. So that's all he has. Um, I'm not saying anything about him politically. I'm just saying take him for what I've just told you.
Yeah. He might
It
he might be crazy, but this stuff is there's a lot of
There's
evidence.
some truth behind it. Like
Yeah.
he is into something. He's onto it. A lot of people automatically think he is crazy though, just because of his interest in Bigfoot. But the Bigfoot stuff, he on his website, he kind of like says that the reason people think he's crazy is because of the Bigfoot stuff, but he only wrote the Bigfoot book because someone was paying him to write it. And that's what he says.
Mm-hmm.
He says that someone just gave him a bunch of information and they paid him for 2 years to write stuff. And while he was writing the whole Bigfoot book, that's when he stumbled upon this and kind of made this his life mission, basically.
Secure that bag if somebody's willing to pay you for something.
That's what I said. If someone wants
Uh,
to pay me to research Bigfoot for 2 years,
done and
I'll do
done.
it.
Done and
I'll write a
done.
book
I mean,
in a heartbeat.
he's getting $80 a book for the 411. So I mean,
Might as well.
why not?
So, Pilates doesn't, on purpose, does not offer any theories as to why people have gone missing. And I think that's on purpose. So, I am going to tell two stories. They're very quick about two people who've gone missing. And this is two people out of thousands, but two people. One's an adult and one's a child. And I'll probably touch on things about other people. Um, but the first case that I just kind of thought was strange, and it's not like creepy strange, it's just the more I think about it, the weirder it is. So the
Yeah.
first one is an older gentleman named Maurice Damitz. He was 84 years old, and he went missing in Pike National Forest in Colorado in 1988. So Maurice was really into like gemstones and geology and stuff. And so he had this friend, since he was so old, who would take him out to these national parks and they would search for these gemstones together. And um, the friend would kind of give him the space, like let him go look for stuff, and then he could do his own thing and then just check back in with him, just kind of help out an old guy. So this particular day, they're out looking for topaz. And the friend gets him set up, gets all his tools out and everything for him and lets him go. And he decides he's going to check on him every 15 minutes. He does. Goes
Okay.
and checks on him. Just, sticks his head, walks over to him. And he said he was probably no more I think, oh, I think he said it was like a couple thousand, like not even 1,000 feet. Like that's way too much. Couple 100 feet away from him,
I was
but
about
he
to
was
say 1,000. That's a little.
definitely not a
That's
thousand.
a little bit.
He said it was a couple 100 feet. It was far enough that, um, and far enough away that he couldn't immediately see him. He had to get up and walk a little bit to see.
Okay.
So he came back and said, "Hey, Maurice, we're about to go." He's like, "In about 15 minutes. So just, wrap it up," kind of thing. They'd been out there for a while. So the guy goes back, gets his stuff together, and comes back, and Maurice is nowhere to be found. So
Oh.
he thinks, oh, well, maybe he like went back to the car. So he looked around where Maurice was at for a second and just kind of checked behind some trees and walked a little bit. So he walked back to the car and Maurice wasn't there. So he waited and waited, and Maurice still hadn't come back. And this is an 84-year-old man who had trouble walking and needed help to get out there in the first place.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird. Well, after not seeing him for a while, he ends up getting in his car and drives back over to like the sheriff station basically,
Mm-hmm.
and they report him missing. They can't find him. Well, when they go back out to the site to look for him, everything belonging to Maurice was missing. His tools were missing. Obviously, he was missing. There was absolutely no sign that he was ever there. Like he was completely like he'd never even been out there looking for anything. So the search went on for him for 5 days. They ended up searching like a few mile radius around where he went missing. Could not find any blood, no sign of struggle, no evidence that he was ever there. So to the point where like it was like you would have thought that you would see footprints from him walking away or anything. Couldn't find anything.
Some.
They thought that they didn't find any. And
You know what's coming to my mind?
what?
Aliens.
Aliens. I know, right? They even went as far as looking to see if, maybe he went to go use the bathroom somewhere behind a tree. No, couldn't find any of that stuff. Like they literally could not find anything. And to this day, they have not found anything
That's
to
weird.
say he was even out there.
He's
So,
an elderly man. How does that just happen?
so a theory that I saw online as well too is like, was he ever even out there, or was this a cover story for the
Ooh.
friend? But everyone said no one knew of a good reason or motive for this friend to kill this old man.
Like, what if he had killed him several days before and made the story up that they went out and were looking for stuff?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I don't know, but he has completely never been found without a trace, just gone, just like
that's
literally aliens happen. So, um,
these are the type of stories that make you get the shivers. Cause how do you explain that?
oh, 100%. Like, how do you just completely up and disappear? Anyway, so the second story, this one actually makes me a little mad because it's about a child, and I don't like that. But it's a little boy named Jared Ottero. And October the 2nd, 1999, his father owned a campground, and he was there with his father and his sister at the campground. And this bigger, I think they said it was 11 people ish. This bigger Christian group was actually staying on the campground, and they were helping Jared's dad and his uncle clean up the area for the winter in exchange for lodging. So they were helping them prepare and cut wood and all kinds of stuff. Oh, we got a guest. And
Athena! Kitty cat content for you
yeah.
guys.
Uh, and so a particular afternoon, the group of people wanted to go on a hike, and they were actually going to take Jared's sister with with them on this little hike. Well, Jared's dad said that uh, he didn't expect Jared to want to go with him, but he started begging his dad to let him go with his sister.
Yeah.
And Jared thought, okay, it's 11 adults. It's gonna be fine. Like,
Whoa, what could
what's
go
the worst?
wrong? Yeah.
What's the absolute worst that could happen? Hmm. Well, so it's a 3-year-old though. Like, would you let Joe go with 11 people on a hike that you don't really know but kind of know? I mean, I wouldn't,
I
but
say no, and I have hiking experience. We hiked in on Guam and New Mexico. It's sometimes it can be really dangerous, and the thought of a 3-year-old like that right off the rip, no,
yeah,
no.
I felt a little weird about it, but you're a
It,
mom, so
and
you
you're
definitely say no.
and for the parent not to be there, like I don't
It's
know,
kind of weird.
that's weird. That's weird.
But I digress. So this group of 11 adults and his sister and 3-year-old Jared all go hiking in Roosevelt National Forest. And they're just walking along, and Jared starts running ahead. He's 3 years old, but they let him run ahead. And he sees some fishermen, runs up there and talks to these fishermen. These fishermen end up being the last people to see Jared alive, or to see Jared, yeah, period. And when they said they talked to him, they said that he was by himself, but that they could see the other people like behind him, but far enough away that they just knew that there was people back there. They couldn't actually make out their figures. So Jared runs, like leaves them and keeps running forward, leaving the people that are supposed to be watching him behind. Well, it was not until about 45 minutes later that the people actually realized that Jared's missing.
Oh wow.
I will say I have read like little timestamp info about this case, and I still feel as weird about it as you probably do.
What up?
Um, Around the same time that they realized that he was missing, a couple of people in the group uh, realized because the group kind of split off
I
into
don't know what the
two
fuck they're
at
doing.
this
It's
point.
up to them.
But some of the people in the group said that they heard a loud scream, but that they described it as like a playful scream, not
Can
like
you drop
a
off some of that green?
in pain scream.
Okay.
So
I'm trying to follow. I'm following, but it's weird. It's
it's very
weird.
weird. So they search for Jared, can't find him, and so they decide to drive back and tell his dad. And they say, look, just so you know, something's going on with Jared. And his dad, Alan, first thought that maybe he got hurt. At worst, he broke an arm, something. And they're like, we can't find him. So he freaks out and gets in the car and he asks them, like, where'd you go hiking? They ended up going hiking like almost 20 minutes away. So he had to drive 20 minutes and get to where they started the hike. So he gets up there. They look all over the place for his son. Cannot find it. Cannot find his son. Cannot find Jared anywhere.
Hmm.
They end up searching for over a week. Crazy stuff happens, including a helicopter crash
Oh. Okay.
while they are searching. And ultimately, they have to end up calling the search
Excuse
off
my name.
because they can't find him. Uh,
You made Athena leave.
I know she'll probably be back though. She's been loving sitting back here on this chair. So they ultimately decide to pause the search, and Jared is just another missing person that's a statistic as far as being completely gone without a trace.
That is
Well, it
crazy.
gets it gets even crazier. So
How?
In 2003, some hikers are hiking 500 feet higher than where they were hiking originally. And they find they find a body or a skull. And they also find his pants and his jacket and his shoes. His pants are inside out and they're completely torn to shreds, but like kind of like how like a bird would pick at it to get like the fibers for their nest kind of thing. That's what they said happened, but his pants were inside out. His jacket was perfectly fine, in perfect condition, and his shoes were in perfect condition. Like not like shoes that had been out there for, you know, 4 years. Like they were just put out there a couple of days ago. And he like in the videos of the interviews, the dad Alan will show you his pants and his shoes and stuff. His shoes are still white. They're white and blue. And if shoes are out there for 4 years in dirt, in rain, in mud, they're not going to be white.
The first day a kid puts brand new shoes on, they're dirty. I mean, that's weird. That's weird. And that the only thing on him that was affected were his pants.
I know, it's very strange. And they ended up finding the skull, and they weren't sure if it was his or not. And they did very early DNA testing, and they thought that it was him. And then now, more recently, I think a handful of years ago, they were able to finish DNA testing that did prove that it was his skull.
Wow.
So they found him, but how did he go missing? How did for 4 years and stuff lay out there and not have anything wrong with it? Some people try to claim that it might have been like a mountain lion attack or some kind of animal attack, but it would make sense if for that to happen if he had like blood on his clothes or something. But a mountain lion doesn't turn a kid's clothes inside out. So,
and the fact that it took them almost an hour to even realize that a 3-year-old wasn't with them. I mean, you're grown adults and you have one small child with you in the group and you don't keep an eye on him.
Okay, so I'm going to side note really quick. Do y'all want to see a picture of our shirts? She just sent me a screenshot or sent me a picture of them.
I would, yes. Yes.
Absolutely not.
Oh, well.
Don't want to see the shirts.
I don't know if you can see.
Wow. Oh, that looks good.
I'm going to have to, I'll send you an actual
That
picture.
Looks awesome. So, yes, we have merch now. We have it. We haven't
she got them all boxed up for us.
We haven't discussed how we're gonna get it out to y'all. More than likely invoices through PayPal, and we will ship them out to you ourselves.
It said wash them inside out with cold water and no fabric softener.
Okay.
And she said they will last and look new forever.
Okay.
So if you buy one, those are your tips.
Inside out and on cold.
Yes.
You got it.
That's how I wash most things
put your pants
anyway.
on backwards inside out?
Huh? What?
You never put your pants on inside out?
But nothing else was wrong.
Yeah, you might have fucked up on the pants only.
But they were torn up, and his shoes weren't, and his
like
jacket.
People don't wear ripped jeans.
It's a 3-year-old though, and it wasn't like they were made that way. They said his.
People didn't wear ripped jeans in 2009. No, 1999.
Yeah, well, this happened a while ago.
Yeah, they were wearing fucking trip mill jeans back then.
Well, and I don't know. That's just but I mean, are you gonna say it's not weird that say somebody like Crystal said took Joe, and they didn't let us know for an hour that he was missing? It's weird. It's weird.
Hey, that'd be kind of mad.
Shitty fucking babysitter then.
But first off, I wouldn't have let my child go on that.
Oh, so you don't trust our
begin with.
children with Crystal? Got it.
I would very much trust the boys with Crystal and Tyler.
We'd have
What
fun.
about that fucking ghost cat? That was a conspiracy theory.
But because that was Athena, that wasn't a ghost
That cat could have been from the Egyptian time.
Oh my god.
That would be cool. I mean,
But also, if Crystal and Tyler took the boys, they would keep an eye on them.
I'm not going to let him run so far away ahead of me that I can't see him.
On a mountain, like he could have fell off the mountain, down the mountain.
I let them fucking run.
He does, but don't.
I let them see how far they can run before I fucking yell at them.
His parenting advice is they'll only do it once, and then they won't do it again.
Well, I mean, I will be honest. I am the type of person. I'm not a parent, but I'm the type of person that I'm just like, if they fall, they fall. Whereas Tyler's like, be careful, don't fall.
Me and Tyler are the same. You and Zach are the same.
I let him fucking fall, hit his face, his fucking fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because we live in the fucking 21st century where everyone has pussy children.
Here you go, advice from Mark.
We got him started.
Yeah, he's started here, folks.
It's our guest.
Our guest star.
Okay, let's see. So, after we talk about those crazy stories, when we think it's crazy, I mean, and I don't understand how any of it happened.
We haven't even
for the kid.
We haven't even dipped our toe into this conspiracy theory, and it's already super weird. Super weird. And that's only.
I'm just telling you like 2 stories out of like 800 that I've.
I know. Look at how many are marked on this map, and that's not even all of them. That's just some of them.
So the main thing that David Paulides keeps like coming back to is, and it's a great question. It is a fantastic question. The question is like, what's the federal government doing about this? Because it's their land that these kids are going missing on, and these adults and everyone are going missing on. Well, I discovered something that I didn't know about. So if we were to go missing on, let's say, in a national park or something, you don't have like a police force that can look for you. You're basically at the mercy of the sheriff's department for that county or parish. Like, that's who determines if you even get really looked for. And
that sucks.
That kind of sucks, because then you're waiting for them to decide.
I know one police department I would not want to be looking for me if I went missing is my hometown. Absolutely not. And like the fact that these people, but that could be why this is all happening. That like they know that.
So I don't know how much people know or understand about like how the government system works, but the National Park Service is part of the Department of the Interior.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in an interview on this Missing 411, they actually interviewed Ken Salazar, who was the Department of the Interior under the Obama administration.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked him about, like, what do you have to say about all these missing people? Like, what do you think is happening? He is like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, people are missing. I know that we're looking for them, and this. He's like, but I don't know how many people have been missing. He didn't know how many. Couldn't put a number. And to me, that's a little
BS. That's BS.
Yeah, like to me, that's your job.
That's your job. You're assigned to that area.
Like, I understand the National Park Service is not your only job. Like, that's not the only thing you're over. But you should know your job well enough that you can say
that you can branch out and know like other
1,600
aspects.
people who are missing right now in our national parks that I am ahead of.
Would you necessarily classify this as a serial killer or like several serial killers?
I don't know. I mean, if a serial killer was using the national park as a way to lure people and commit crimes there,
That's pretty,
yeah.
in my opinion, and that's being morbid. And you know how we think. That's pretty smart. I mean, say I'm gonna kill a bunch of people, and I want to try and get away with it for as long as I can. What better way than do it in the national park system? It's basically like its own society. It's like it's its own individual. Like you said, they have their own police departments, their own judicial rights. So like, why not go in there and murder a bunch of people? And these bodies might not even be found. Like, look how long it took for that little boy to be found. 4 years.
Look how many people have never been found. I mean, Maurice, 1988, and he still has not been found.
And he was an 80-year-old man, old. Like, what? You don't think that's weird? And you're just gonna say that that's not your job?
Mm-hmm. So another thing that he kind of touches on and talks about is that there have been reports of children who have been returned to their families after long periods of time. And it's not just people who were found. This is also people who were missing and then found dead. That these people would search an area, and maybe a month or between like a few days to a month, a year later, that person is found in the exact same area that they already searched. And that's a little weird.
That's odd.
It's very odd. And I mean, I could think you could chalk up one or two as just a little weird, a coincidence. But for it to happen a lot, that's starting to get out of the realm of a coincidence. So some of these children have actually done situations that professional survivor men, or I guess that's what you would call them, survival men,
like
or survival persons.
Like
so they just survive it they put themselves in these hard situations just to survive. I don't know, like that guy on TV,
like a survivalist, just
yeah,
yeah.
I have no interest in doing that, but they have said that there's no way children as young as 2 can survive some of these conditions, because there was a 2-year-old who, in the cold, wet, rainy weather, traveled more than 12 miles overnight.
Let me just interject here. Crystal knows anytime we talk about children on the podcast, I'm gonna be honest. I victim blame. I blame the parents because why in the heck? What in the heck is your 2-3-year-old child doing out in the wilderness? That's what it is, in the forest, in a national park that people are going missing in, and you're just like, oh, I think I'll take my 2-year-old out there. Not only is it a forest that's dangerous, that they get lost and people are already going missing it, but it's cold. No, yeah, they're You're right, chat. They're crazy. We call them crazy people.
False. We call them fucking Southerners.
Actually, most of them were Midwesterners.
They're Yankees. The Yankees don't know
not
to take their children out into places that people are going missing. Anyways.
So, one of my favorite...
Sweet tea. They'll get any van you see.
I don't even know. I'm tuning him out. They're talking about sweet tea, and now it's getting into a southern and northern debate. Anyways. Sweet tea.
Sweet tea. Sweet tea is superior.
Mm-hmm.
So, my favorite conspiracy, let's add a conspiracy on top of this conspiracy.
Why not?
About where these...
A twist?
Maybe it's a twist. I don't know. what's happening to these people
Mm-hmm.
is that they are being
What do you mean, these
taken by an elite race of people who live in the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
particularly the mountains around Mount Shasta. Shasta. I knew I was going to say
I
it
feel
crazy.
that's like I feel that's how you say it. And we like to throw a disclosure in there. We're terrible at pronouncing stuff.
So we're going to go with that.
Are you guys
Mount
talking like a
Shasta.
fucking like Hills Have Eyes twist?
Okay, so that's
Kind of.
kind of what Crystal was saying. Like people that live in like the Appalachian Mountains and they live
But-
off
but
they live
they're-
off the grid.
No, not quite hillbilly because they're more advanced than traditional humans. So the backstory
Sophisticated
for
hillbilly
these,
inbreds.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
So the story behind these people called the Lemurians, Lemurians, Lemurians. I'm gonna go with it. Is that they were a civilization that lived at the same time as the Atlanteans from like Atlantis, and they were just kind of like competing civilizations, and it eventually just got so bad that they had caused geothermal war between the two civilizations
Okay.
because the Atlanteans wanted to. I'm really just telling y'all exactly what I've read.
I'm into it. I'm digging it.
The Atlanteans wanted to kind of be overseers of these new civilizations that like we came from, and they wanted to kind of help them and like show them the way of like all this technology and just kind of gather these people up and just have really great civilization. Well, the Lemurians, or however you say them, wanted to leave them alone and kind of go into seclusion and just let everybody kind of discover technology at their own pace. And that's where they disagreed about. So there was a big war. The Atlanteans.
I fucking had something to fucking say.
What?
I don't know. He said he had something to say and he forgot. Yeah.
Anyways.
He's
So the Atlanteans.
This is giving me like the South will rise again vibes.
So the Atlanteans sink their city into the ocean, like we've all learned about, and the Lemurians made a city inside of Mount Shasta that held about, I think they said 200,000 people.
Those are sophisticated hillbillies.
These are like elite hillbillies.
Yes. And so now they have the city supposedly holds close to like 1.5 million people now, and they live a long time. They're taller than like our traditional humans are now.
And I feel like this is where Sasquatch came from.
Okay, now we're talking about real conspiracy theories, right? Can we talk about how the military gave this fucking doctor $100 million to weaponize dolphins?
Oh my god. Okay.
And he was just chilling in Guatemala giving dolphins LSD.
Okay, we'll
talk.
talk.
A whole fucking 3 books on it.
We'll talk about this. Yes, I do want to talk about this because I will admit I'm ashamed of myself. I watched a whole documentary about it, and I watched a lady have intercourse with a dolphin. I'm very ashamed. It's part of it. It's part of it. Yes, they did.
See, I didn't find enjoyment out of that one.
I didn't find enjoyment, but I got so sucked into the conspiracy theory behind it that we evolved from dolphins, and that we can have intimate relationships with them. So they had a woman live with a dolphin.
Dolphins get high for pufferfish.
Hold on.
You'll have to Google it. Yeah, we'll have to do a separate episode about it. Let's not get off track. But yes, I have been
thinking about somebody actually doing it with the dolphin.
Yes, yes. It proved their.
The dolphin's like, come here, Jennifer.
It proved their theory. It proved their theory that dolphins do have like feelings like us, and he did develop feelings for the woman, and she also developed feelings for the dolphin.
The group wants to know how come we're not in y'all's Discord chat. We'd be having so much more fun.
I mean, you guys could, but I don't.
I mean, we could,
you
but
guys go back to
everybody in
your
the
fucking
Discord
sophisticated
chat.
hillbillies.
Me and Crystal called each other. We're not in like a
Fucking Einstein made LSD
server.
so fucking Hitler could take it.
Oh my god. You guys can comment in the chat. Give us more commenters in the chat.
Okay, bet. Everyone get on
No, oh my god. I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, yes, I have been meaning I have been meaning to bring up this conspiracy theory for the podcast, but I didn't want people to think I was a weirdo.
Oh, speaking of, she's okay. Kat says, yeah, but people fell in love with cars and balloons too. Okay, so I was just watching a TikTok of a woman who was in love with a carnival ride.
Okay, Crystal sent me this TikTok. We have this thing on TikTok. We send all these weird videos, and I was like, what did Crystal just send me? His name was Bruce, right?
Bruce.
And
her first relationship was with an airplane?
Yes, an airplane, a retired airplane, and then I think a boat. Didn't she say a boat?
It was a train.
Yes, train, but she said it didn't work because he was always gone. He's a train. He travels. Yes. Anyways, yes. Yeah. I've been wanting to bring that one up. I'm glad Zach mentioned it, but I was like, I stumbled, when you fall down the Reddit rabbit hole, I fell down the Reddit rabbit hole, and I found that, and I was like, I Googled it, and there's a YouTube video, and then next thing I know, I'm watching a woman mess around with a dolphin, so.
A dolphin fucks you.
Typical Saturday night, Anyways. Yes.
So anyway, back to the Lemurians.
Yes. We got sidetracked.
One of the...
How the fuck did you guys get that far sidetracked?
You're the one that just mentioned the dolphins.
I mentioned the Pope. I never mentioned a dolphin.
Whatever. Anyways. Okay, Crystal.
I don't remember say anything about a Pope.
Thank you so much, Tyler, for the follow. Welcome, Timor. Thank you for coming in. We really appreciate it.
We need everyone in this. We have to have a chat in this Twitch server.
This is the proof that there is a elite society in the mountains is the amount of reports that there have been about advanced technology being used. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of on 50-50. I think this could either be like advanced society or the government using technology we don't know about yet, which
there's signs
all the time.
There's signs of it. They like I said, I want to talk about aliens, and this is part of it. They say that the pyramids were made with advanced technology that they can't explain, so that could be part of what you're talking about too.
So one of the things that they talk about is camouflage tech, and the way that I could best describe it is like, when you're on playing a video game or you're watching a movie or something, and there's like that glittering kind of shield, it's like invisible but not really invisible.
So like
something's there.
Like Alien versus Predator, where the Predator goes. Yeah.
Yes,
hey,
exactly.
Hey, thank you so much for the follow, Shane. Really appreciate it. You guys are coming in. That's true. The Simpsons.
I like it.
The Simpsons have predicted a lot. But that always makes me think. I brought this idea up not too long ago. These movies that we watch that are like sci-fi and not true, where are they getting these ideas? Is it just them having a wild imaginations, or is it stuff that actually happened that's hush-hush and not true?
Well, someone told me, I don't know where I know this from, but someone told me that at any given point in time, the government or whatever, or technology companies are about 10 years in the future with technology than is out to the general public now.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, stuff could happen, and they could wait decades and decades before they actually say, well, yeah, that's true, it did happen. Look at
more. Chat says more like 50 years.
Yeah, true.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it's true. Exactly what you're describing is what the Predator movies are. It's like elite people, these bigger than us people, that can literally camouflage their whole body, and that's literally what you're describing, and that's supposedly just a movie. What if it's not? I mean, it makes us sound like we're starting to sound like extreme theorists here, but I mean, that's what we're talking about.
Hey, look, I agree with your brother. We are in a simulation.
Yeah. A lot of people talk about that on TikTok. I'm waiting for the day I wake up and realize this is all a simulation.
I'm bringing this back to books because we know I love books, but there is a book that I read and I loved it. And it was literally all about Earth being a simulation. And it was a game that you played.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you played the game of life, basically. It was really cool.
Okay, the Britney Spears thing, I'm just going to stop the chat right now. It's not a conspiracy theory. Her dad is her manager, and he keeps her doped up on bipolar meds so he can continue to take in her revenue. That's not...
Oh, I've seen the show Upload. I love it.
You need. I haven't seen that one.
It's so good. Tyler and I binged it in like a day and a half.
Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard man. You know, I've heard a lot of people say that.
Yes.
A lot of people.
I think a lot of people.
And Crystal wants to talk about lizard men, so we're going to have to do that one episode. A video. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, my mom did send me a video of Britney Spears.
Was it TikTok where she did the video where she like walks in and then smiles and then walks off?
She's like dancing a lot, and like she just looks like very, very stressed and strung out, and she's still trying to perform. But yeah, I mean, a lot of crazy stuff.
I love Ready Player One. I'm actually reading Ready Player 2 right now.
I have seen that, and that is basically what people are describing about living inside a simulation. It's pretty spot on. And my mom was telling me the other day, what's that book? I had to read it in high school. 1984? Is that what it is? I mean, that was what? And he wrote that in the 30s and 40s? Or the 20s and 30s or something like that? And it was supposed to be like the 2020s or whatever. And a lot of that he said is what's happening right now. So that's kind of creepy, a little suspicious.
5G towers.
Oh God, we're really getting off of it.
I don't understand that. I understood what 5G towers.
Not today, Jesus. Not today. Anyways, let's let Crystal get back to it. We were talking about dolphins and simulations and the Pope and Britney Spears and
yeah, we kind of got off.
And Alien versus Predator, but I mean when you were describing that's the first thing that came to mind was the predators, because that's literally what they do. They're these big giant like Amazon people, and they just camouflage themselves, but you can still technically see like the outline, like you said, a glimmer. So, and that's literally what they're describing.
I don't really think I had too much else to say. Just that you have to admit it's pretty weird that the Department of the Interior and the park systems are not keeping track of these people, because every year upwards of 600,000 people go missing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, the National Missing and Unidentified Person System does say that about 92% of those cases are closed every year, either by finding someone dead or alive.
Mm-hmm.
But think about how many thousands of people that is every year that go missing without a trace.
Yep. And like I already said earlier, for those of you that missed it, this map that we have on the screen, this is only a fraction of the people that have been missing, or there's cold cases or something has gone around either the cave systems and the national parks. This isn't even all of them. And look how many there is on the map.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
I think there'd be a lot more in Florida and Alabama. You know what?
I said that. I was like, there's not really any on Florida.
That's probably the thing, though. It's probably because they never get caught.
Okay, but that map is just unexplained circumstances that he deems unexplained circumstances. And
true.
Some of them are stupid.
ethnicity.
Some of them
your
were
hands at
stupid.
me.
Like, it's in the national park system, and two women whose names were three-lettered names that started with an A went
You with me?
missing within a year of each other, and he said that was weird.
Tell you can tell she's got the Spanish ethnicity. The hands.
The hand.
The fucking hands.
What happened?
She's speaking with the hands.
He said that.
I'm sorry that I talk with my hands.
He said he knows that you're
Spanish.
Spanish because you're talking with your hands.
I'll not talk with them.
What do you want?
I don't know
Sit
what
on my hands.
to do with my hands.
I'm just like, it feels weird not to talk with my hands.
It does. I can tell she's trying really hard not to whip those bad boys up.
Wait a minute. What are you? What?
Huh?
There's a delay. You said all I saw you say whip those bad boys up.
Yeah, her hands.
Oh, alright, fuck off.
Oh my gosh. I love our guest stars that we have.
I mean, I'm very aggressive on this game.
You said something the other day. It's like last night you were on stream or something, and you
But
said
it's also
something
doing
about
that.
great grandpappy's boat or something. And then I was like, crap. I broke grandpappy's.
I don't
fishing pole.
Yeah.
I don't even remember great grandpappy's going through it. You know, always something happening.
The hardest thing, like in like games like that.
I don't remember where we were at now. I've lost it. Our guest
I think
host.
the hardest part though is
Or
that
guess.
you just
It's
gotta.
not. It's
if I
not
yell,
an. It's not an
it's just me
episode
yelling.
without
I'm not
us
yelling at
getting
anyone.
sidetracked.
I don't know what else I was saying, but I feel like that was probably pretty much it.
I think of that fucking like.
Of just the craziness that is the amount of people that go missing in the park every year.
And shit, every time, like I'm like, all right, it's getting interesting, and then all of a sudden, I feel like that guy pops in front of you guys, like in your brain, the fucking one with the fucked up hair that just says aliens.
Yeah. Anyway. All right.
Aliens.
Well, do you guys have any questions in the chat? Is there anything that you would like to see us talk about on our next stream?
What do y'all think the reason all these people are missing
wrong
is?
tone, my guy.
Yes. And thank you guys to chat for last time because this is the one that you guys wanted us to talk about today. And it was pretty entertaining. I'm glad we did this. It's definitely a conspiracy theory, but it's definitely got some truth up in there.
Hey,
these people were just done with
2020.
It wasn't even 2020. It was like the 80s and 90s, and I'm sure it happened before then. I'm sure it happened in the 70s, and I'm sure it happened in the 60s.
However, I'm sure there is some people who went missing in 2020 just because they were done.
Wanted to. I mean, a book that you need to look up is called Educated, and you guys should look it up too. I kind of was thinking about that when you were talking about the people living in the mountains because her parents raised her and her like 4 siblings off the grid. And they didn't go to the doctor. Like even when her dad like almost chopped his arm off, they didn't go to the doctor.
Oh my god!
They didn't have birth certificates. They didn't have social security cards. They didn't have a phone. They didn't have electric.
No, I got you guys.
Her mom became a midwife so she could help other women deliver babies at home, so they didn't have to go to the hospital.
The way we bred, we need that fucking
So when you were describing these people that like live in the caves and out in the mountains and out in the national parks and forests, I was just thinking about there are people.
There has to be people now that look like that.
There's people out there that like just want to live off the grid, and I mean, what if some of them are serial killers and are just snatching people?
Tyler, what does that mean? Wanting some bussies?
Oh my god, I'm not explaining that. I'm not explaining that on stream, and your husband's a jerk for even typing that in the chat.
Tyler, text me what it is, because I have no idea. Should I know what this is?
Send it off tomorrow.
Oh my god. The fact that I can hear him laughing.
Oh my god. Hey, how hard is it to fucking accept the invite?
Oh my gosh. Wait, chat, for her to get this text message and realize what he's talking about.
Did you text me?
I've invited you like 6 fucking times. 7 now.
Well, I need to know what it is. I want to know.
8. I'll count every time I fucking invite you.
What'd you say?
9.
No, she doesn't want to explain it on stream, so you need to text me.
No, we will talk about it after stream when we turn it off.
I bet fucking Daniel's gonna be able to load up before you even get on here.
I'm just
Delete the
gonna...
VOD. Delete the VOD.
What's going on?
So let us know in the chat, or you guys can message us after the stream.
Alt F4.
On what you guys want us to talk about next time on the stream. If you guys want us to talk about a true crime, a paranormal, or another conspiracy theory.
Shane.
I still don't get it, not Urban Dictionary. So.
Oh my gosh.
It ain't that big of a deal.
Oh, AT, they talk about bussies in the chat.
Oh my god, we're not talking about bussies in the chat. We're not talking about it. Anyways, do you have anything else for the people?
I don't know, but I'm so sorry for anybody listening who was not prepared for all this.
This was a wild ride. I mean, this is not normal. We're not together. But I thought it was good. That was good.
Oh, I have a question. Does anybody, I don't know if you've asked this already, does anybody have any suggestions for next stream? Or I've heard from Bethany that y'all want to see us record a podcast on stream.
Mm-hmm.
So,
like next time we sit down and record our episode that is put every Sunday, we upload an episode to Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So would you guys like us to do a live stream while we're recording for an episode, or just keep doing once a month streams? We had a lot
we'll
of you
do
guys.
aliens.
Okay, we can do aliens next stream.
Oh, we doing
I think you should have those two guys
Yeah,
on from last time. They were hilarious. Okay, well, when y'all don't have the Rona,
why the fuck are you yelling?
you can come over and
At least we'll have antibodies.
Yes.
Woohoo.
You guys can come over and we will have the two special guests on the show. And I guess we'll be talking about aliens. And I'm very excited for this.
I think that means they're going to be talking about aliens. But
I feel like me and Crystal will probably start out sitting in front of the camera, and then we'll probably get pushed out of the way. And our two special guests will take over the show, which is fine. If we get followers and get to our 50 followers and hit affiliate, by all means, that is
they can talk about whatever they want to talk about. If they get to 50 followers.
That is our goal, get us to 50 followers. But yeah, this was fun.
Glass. I was like, someone could be glass if I could
Oh,
the windows with me.
And if someone is interested in merch,
Glass and Callie are the only ones that can shoot windows.
how would us just doing a PayPal invoice work for you? Like, do you just want to message us what size you want with your email?
Ooh,
we send it to you.
It will be $25 for the shirt and roughly $5 for the shipping. So just know that it'll probably be about a $30 total, but you will get your it's the very first merch for Bayou Chronicles, so pretty cool.
That's awesome.
You guys can message us on here. I have our socials tagged at the bottom of the screen, our Twitter and our Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel, which is Bayou Chronicles, all one word.
Where's it at?
And yeah.
Oh, it's in the main room to the left.
This has
been fun. I love these.
It's right there.
This was fun.
It's over there.
Alrighty,
guys. I hope y'all
enjoyed
this. I know I did, and I hope you learned something about the missing people that are in our park systems. So, and don't go to the park alone. Don't go hiking by yourself.
Don't take
careful.
Don't take your 2-3-year-old.
Yeah, don't take your 2-year-old hiking and let them just run off by themselves.
Maybe that would probably not be a smart idea, but yeah, thank you guys so much.
Last piece of business. I'm so sorry to hold everybody up. I keep remembering stuff.
It's right there.
We need
I
more
don't know what Abe's doing.
personal stories for our listener story
for
episode.
Valentine's Day. It'll be releasing
Mm-hmm.
on Valentine's Day, February 14th.
So you ain't got much time if you want to send us your story. We just need it typed out.
I got you, Shane. I got you.
We don't have to say your name. We don't have to give any personal information. Excuse you, my husband is playing a video game. We don't have to say your name. You just write in about maybe you know a true crime that happened in your town or that you like. If you have a paranormal experience,
she ain't doing it to my man.
Or if you have a conspiracy theory that you believe, just write out a little snippet, send it to us, and we will be doing that on the Valentine's Day episode. We didn't really want to be mushy. We tried to look up like love stories, but like
all that turned up was like witchcraft, like spell potions,
and
how to
like Bonnie and Clyde, and like Bonnie and Clyde is like so.
And obviously like the Valentine's Day massacre.
Well, yeah. But yeah, send that in to us because that's coming up pretty fast. It's only like a few weeks away.
Yep. And I'm going to tease everybody on this one because we are still in the research phase of it. But I just want to shout it out because it's really cool. We are going to be doing a true crime case that has never been done by anybody because the father of our victim actually gave us a whole bunch of information. So we don't know when it's going to be releasing. And if you're watching this, you're going to be one of the few people who knows.
Mm-hmm. Watch out for that. It's pretty intense. Like we have actual case files and like Crystal said, nobody's talked about it. And like this is intense. This is the moment we knew that this was getting serious. Bayou Chronicles was very much a thing.
So yeah, so it'll be a big case. Be excited. Be waiting for it. Anytime. Leave us. Subscribe to us on places. Obviously, you can't subscribe here yet, but
you can drop a follow on here. You can share our link. You can go follow us on YouTube and subscribe to us. That would be super super awesome. And
I always tell people, even if we're not your type of podcast, just share us. I mean, obviously we are because you're watching this, but share it and then ask people or tell people to share it, even if we're not their style. Their friends might think we're cool. So, but yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening and for joining us. We had a lot of fun.
Yep. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And all of a sudden, I start seeing